Hey guys, this is my Mk2 GTI 5-cylinder 07K that we're building to be the ultimate street Mk2. This thing's going to be an absolute demon on the streets. The last time that you guys saw this car, we were trying to fire it up for the first time. Well, we successfully did that. Holy shit! No way! So after successfully starting the car for the first time, I decided that it was time to put in the O2J shifter box, get the clutch set up, and just try to see if this thing moved under its own power, which it did.
Motherfucker, it moves!
Although I only drove it about a couple feet, it felt really good to drive this thing for the first time. But then I was met with immediate sadness. I discovered an oil leak in my driveway. And I was really hoping that it would be something simple, but I discovered that the oil leak was coming from in between the block and the trans, and that usually means rear main seal. So, engine back out for the third time.
Whoops.
Less than ideal, 100%. Very, very unideal situation we got ourselves into there. But with the engine back out, I discovered that there was a huge crack on the timing cover. How it got there, I have no idea. I don't remember seeing it before, and I don't remember hitting the block that hard with the trans when I was trying to put it on, but I very well could have. That's a possibility. But it was cracked regardless, so I had to replace it. Luckily for me, though, I had a spare 07K sitting alongside the shed, so I didn't have to spend a lot of dollars on Volkswagen OEM parts, so that was cool. So we got a new rear main seal put in that timing cover, and then we put everything back together. So after putting the engine back in, I needed to fire it up for the first time since changing out the timing cover and the rear main seal and ensure that there was no leaks. I have yet to discover any leaks, so hopefully they're gone for good. I really hope so. Or else I'll be very sad, and I'll probably just sell the car. Because at this point, I don't want to do that again. It really sucks. It starts and it runs, but it runs horribly. Runs really bad. Does not sound good. So in order to solve that issue, I wanted to get the cooling system plumbed up. So instead of me trying to fire it up, let it die, fire it up, let it die, and overheat it eventually, I needed to get some coolant flowing through the engine so I can properly diagnose this bad boy. So I put in my Mk3 VR6 Mishimoto rad, got all the lines plumbed in, and put some water in it for the first time. Oh shit.
Whoopsie.
We had one leak, which isn't surprising because when I put the water neck back on, I forgot to put the gasket on, so I had to take everything apart again and put the gasket on and then put the water neck back on. That's my fault. Things happen. Whoopsie. But now with water flowing through this engine, we need to diagnose why this car is running like crap. So I know you guys have probably already heard it before, but let me show you guys what it's currently doing. And we've gotten dozens of comments on what people think that actually is wrong with this engine. Now, let me preface by saying this. Everything is grounded, everything has a clean ground, and it's been double checked by a multimeter. So it doesn't have anything to do with grounding or power issues. Fuel pump primes, fuel pump runs. Does it stay running while the engine is running? We're going to check. It could be a vacuum leak, it could be a fueling issue, or it could be a spark issue, maybe? I don't really know. So we're just going to try to check over everything today. And we're also going to check for vacuum leaks by spraying some brake clean and seeing if it kicks up the idle a little bit. To be honest, guys, I'm not a mechanic whatsoever. This is my first time ever doing something like this. So if you genuinely have thoughts or ideas, please tell me. I'm not going to be upset by them. And if they don't make any sense, then that's fine. But we're all just trying to figure out why this thing doesn't run properly. There's also a possibility that it could have something to do with the car not having a post-cat O2 sensor, because right now it's just an off-the-header open pipe. There's only one O2 sensor currently hooked up, and there's supposed to be two. So maybe that could cause an issue, but I've heard some people say, oh no, that wouldn't cause an issue. I really don't know. So who's to say, honestly, at this point? So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that the fuel pump is still running while the engine is trying to run. So what I'm going to do is stick the camera back there, stick my microphone next to the pump, and actually try to listen for it because it's too loud up here that I can't hear it running. So you guys are going to check for me, okay? Thank you. Hey, we're going to stick the microphone there. You're going to tell me if it stays running, please. Alright, we're going to run back the footage and see if that stayed running. That didn't really work how I wanted it to. The car was too loud that I couldn't hear the fuel pump running over the sound of the engine. So anyway, I had my dad come out, and then he ran the car while I was listening to the fuel pump. So it does run while the engine is trying to run. So it has fuel pressure, it's getting fuel. So we think there's something else going on. Me and him both think that it's the O2 sensor issue, where it's ticking off the computer, and the computer has no idea what's going on, so it's trying to dump fuel, take fuel out, dump fuel, take fuel out, and it just doesn't know what to do. But first, I got my handy dandy brake clean here. I'm gonna do my due diligence and try to look for some vacuum leaks, just to ensure that that's not what's going on. But I really think it has something to do with the O2 sensor. So if there's no vacuum leaks, what we're gonna do next is put my Milltek exhaust on and then try to booger together a downpipe with some flex pipe and a cat and put an O2 sensor in and try to see if that maybe makes it run better. I'm gonna run this really quick, gonna some brake clean, get high, and then go from there. All right, so that didn't garner any specific results. The only time that it did anything different was when I sprayed it right into the air filter, but obviously that's gonna do that. So I didn't find any obvious vacuum leaks between the intake manifold, the vacuum pump delete, or the valve cover or anything like that. So I really think it has something to do with the O2 sensor. I could be really off basis, but something is telling me that that's what that is. So what we're gonna do now is we have this Milltek exhaust that Milltek sent over to us. We've partnered with Milltek. How exciting is that? If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that already. So Milltek sent over this beautiful Mk2 GTI exhaust system. So we're gonna get that thrown on the car, booger together a downpipe, and then try to see what happens from there, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really know. So this is the exhaust that Milltek sent over. This is the rear portion of the exhaust. And I'm incredibly thankful of Milltek for partnering with me on this build. If you guys know Milltek, you know their stuff is some of the highest quality on the market. I'm super stoked to hear this thing on the car, and I can't wait to get some rev clips and some flybys and just hear this thing rip. So let's get this thing on the car and go from there. Okay, zen. So before we fit the exhaust, we gotta jack up the car and get underneath it, which I really hate doing, especially in the shed, but it is what it is. This is so much fun. I love doing this so much. I love working on my car. I love my car. It's gonna be so much fun ripping it on the back street with all my car friends that I met and going to Low Show and meeting all of my fans. It's gonna be so much fun. Just gotta keep telling myself that it's all gonna be worth it. One of my least favorite things doing, I can't speak today. Jeez Louise, guys. One of my least favorite things about working on cars is putting jack stands underneath them, so. Ow! Alright, so now that the car is all jacked off, we need to get the exhaust on, so we're out in the back first. So first we're going to get this rear section put on, and then we're going to go from there. And I'm also not really sure how I'm going to film this, so if the footage is crappy for the next couple of minutes, just bear with me, please. So yeah, don't mind my car. It's a little rusty under here, but that's okay. Alright guys, we're making progress. Don't mind my zip tie hanger job. I thought I had some leftover exhaust hangers from when I took this exhaust out, but apparently I do not. So currently we have the rear section on, we have the mid section on, and then we have the resonator down there. Now, nothing holds up the resonator. The resonator is held in by the downpipe itself, and we currently do not have a downpipe, so we're going to have to fabricate something with some booger surgery. We'll see what we come up with. But for now, this Milltek exhaust system is looking absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to actually hear it and get some proper exhaust hangers on it. And to Milltek, I'm really sorry. This is what you guys signed up for when you decided to partner with me. I have no idea what I'm doing, and zip ties was all I had. I didn't have any exhaust hangers left. So, don't worry though, we're gonna get it buttoned up. We're gonna get it looking nice and pretty. But for now, this is all we have, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Well, unfortunately for you guys, I'm gonna stop this video here. I was gonna wait until I got the catalytic converter and the downpipe all hooked up, but I just wanna get this video up so I can update you guys on what's going on with the Mk2 5-cylinder. And it has been like a month since I posted, so hopefully we're going to try to be a little bit more consistent on YouTube. My main platform has been Instagram, and I've garnered over 10,000 followers over there on Instagram, but Instagram doesn't pay its creators at all, and I know YouTube, you know, kind of pays a little bit better. And at the end of the day, it's not about the money, it's about building cars and putting smiles on people's faces and making them laugh, but the money does help because building cars is expensive. So hopefully in the next video, you guys get to see this thing running, driving, and hopefully we get to take it on a test drive that goes more than 5 feet. If you guys like this video, please leave a like, please subscribe. We're getting kind of close to having 1,000 subscribers. That would be a huge milestone for me, as I do genuinely love making videos. It's a lot of fun. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.